Thanks, Simon. Hi, I'm Gosia. I'm a recovered addict. It's really nice to be here. I'm very, very nervous for some reason. I don't normally get nervous, but I am today, but it's okay, I'm only human. So I'm going to read a bit from page 5 from Bill's story that I really identify with. I love Cocaine Anonymous. I love, the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And when I came to the fellowship a couple of years ago, I was asked to read Bill's story and highlight some bits that I am identified with. I'm sure, some of you have been asked similar thing. So I remember highlighting this. I woke up, this had to be stopped. I saw I could not take so much as one drink. I was through forever. Before then, I had written lots of sweet promises, but my wife happily observed that this time I meant business, and so did I. Shortly afterward, I came home drunk. There had been no fight. Where had been my high resolve? I simply didn't know. It hadn't even come to my mind. Someone had pushed a drink my way, and I had taken it. Was I crazy? I began to wonder, for such an appalling lack of perspective seemed near being just that. Renewing my resolve, I tried again. Some time passed, and confidence began to be replaced by cockshiness. I could laugh at gin mills. Now I had what it takes. One day I walked into a cafe to telephone. In no time I was beating on the bar, asking myself how it happened. I really, really identify with this reading because, how many times did I wake up, never doing it again, swearing off, sweet promises, and then doing it again, never really knowing why. I love studying this book as well. Every time I read it, I find something new. When I came to Cocaine Anonymous in April 2017, I remembered being welcomed with, friendships. I was welcomed with understanding. I was welcomed with, possibility of, speaking to someone who understood me, yeah? Or was there, I was given love. Finally, I found a place where, people understood me. And I was attending meetings for like 60 days, thinking that's going to sort my problem. And, I relapsed after 60 days. And I was like, why have I relapsed? I'm attending those meetings. I'm doing kind of, the right thing. But what I failed to hear at that time, or maybe it wasn't there, I don't know. I'm not here to criticize anyone. Was, the information on what I suffer with, and I really, really didn't know what I was suffering with. After my first relapse in Cocaine Anonymous, I was told, I needed to get sponsor, I needed to get through the steps because I'm powerless, and my sponsor then asked me, are you powerless? Well, yeah, I am powerless, yeah. And I said, I am, but I didn't really knew what that meant. I had no idea what that meant, but, I just said, yeah, I'm powerless. Yeah, obviously I'm in Cocaine Anonymous. And, and I was going through the steps, yeah, step 1, 2, 3. And, I was sending my gratitude to my sponsor every night. And I was coming to the meetings. And I got to kind of 90 days clean. I pick up my keyring. Bang, let's go and celebrate. Let's have a few drinks, yeah? Because I picked up my 90-day keyring. What's that all about? I'm in Cocaine Anonymous, yeah? Picking up my 90-day keyring for being clean and sober, and I'm going to celebrate with a drink. What's that all about? And at that time, I didn't even see it. It was like this twist of mind. Let's go and celebrate with a few drinks. Failing, to obviously remember that alcohol was mind-altering substance. So obviously I relapsed. Next day I was, remorseful and really scared. What happened? I only just picked up my 90-day keyring. And I was told by my sponsor at that time, don't worry, it's a process, you know, we're gonna do your step 4 and 5, and you know, that's gonna help you, that's gonna give you some relief. And you know, so I was like, right, okay, great, you know, so, you know, I've written my step 4 inventory, I did my step 5, you know, massive relief, yeah. I finally cleared the wreckage of the past, like, you know, I told her everything, and I felt great. I looked good, I felt good, life was great, I was getting clean time, you know, I've got it, life is amazing again. You know, no thoughts of cocaine or drink were coming at that time. I was living life, you know. And what I'm going to describe now, you know, is what I believe mental twist, mental blank spot is. You know, I remember, you know, I again had some clean time, and, you know, I was doing really well, and it was really nice, lovely December afternoon, quite frosty, sunny. You know, I was really happy, no pressing problems. Christmas coming, looking forward to Christmas. My kids were going to my mum-in-law for a few hours, so, you know, I thought, right, I'm gonna have a nap because I feel a bit tired, you know, I'm kids free. And as I remember it now, as I put my head on a pillow, out of nowhere, yeah, suddenly this thought comes to my head saying to me, you know, my head saying to me, it would be nice to have a line of cocaine. You know, where that thought came from, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not here to investigate where the thoughts are coming from. But what happens is that I'm thinking that it's okay to have a line of cocaine. Yeah, I'm thinking that if I to order it from different dealer, it's not going to be as strong and it's not going to hurt me as much. It's not going to be that bad, is it? So where is the thought of Cocaine Anonymous? Where is the thought of my sponsor? Where is the thought of the program I'm working? Where is all that? It's gone. It's gone, man. It's gone. And that's what peculiar mental twist is, and it's fucking scary. Because it's not about what is happening, yeah? It's about what is not happening. And what is not happening, yeah? My memory isn't working. The consequences are not remembered. Total insanity. My reality, yeah, when the mental blank spot takes place, my reality is completely distorted. No reasoning. Not even to mention willpower. The willpower should appear naturally, yeah? I should be there saying, what the hell? Why am I thinking coke? No way, no chance. I'm in Cocaine Anonymous, yeah? I'm here because I want to stop. I'm here because I can't stop, yeah? But it's not there. It's not there. It wasn't there. Page 24. You know, the fact is, the most alcoholics or drug addicts, for reasons yet obscure, we don't know those reasons, do we, have lost the power of choice in drink. Our so-called willpower becomes practically non-existent. We are unable at certain times, yeah, and what is really important here, they tell you we are unable at certain times. They don't tell you we are unable always, yeah? So sometimes, that's the thing, sometimes I could apply my willpower. Sometimes, yeah, I was like, oh my God, I'm thinking about cocaine, no chance, yeah? So I was trying to do it on my willpower, and sometimes it worked. Yeah, it was painful, it was really painful, because the obsession was there, but somehow I managed to kind of override it, yeah? But certain times, yeah, we are unable to bring into our consciousness with sufficient force, yeah? So it's not enough the memory of the suffering and humiliation of even a week or a month ago. We are without defense, without defense against the first drink. You know, it's that utter inability to leave it alone, no matter how much we try or want. And you know, at that point, in that December, the next 3 months was just constant relapses, constant mental twists. I could describe it as really, do you know what? The first 12 months in Cocaine Anonymous, yeah, was like a one big twist. When I look at it now, it was one big twist. And I was cornered at last, at my last relapse, and I mentioned it, in my last couple of shares. I was driven to a point where I could not live because I was so distraught that I could not control the situation, yeah. I could not figure out why I was relapsing. I was kind of doing everything that was suggested. So why am I relapsing, yeah? Yeah, I relapsed before because I felt sad, I felt anxious, I felt resentful. But what about those times I'm relapsing when I'm feeling good and I'm thinking I'm doing okay? What about those times? And this just drove me to a nearly suicide. And, I was cornered at last. And I was like, right, and this is really interesting actually when I look at it. I was like, right, I'm gonna go through the steps again properly, yeah? So at that time I'm thinking, I'm gonna go through those 12 steps and I'll stop relapsing. So I'm still trying to use the steps as a strategy, yeah? I can see it now, I couldn't see it then. But the thing is, and the God honest truth is, that I was petrified I was to relapse. I went through those steps properly, not because I was seeking spiritual experience. That's not true. I went through those steps properly because I was absolutely petrified of relapsing and dying. Yeah, I wasn't there because I wanted to find God. I just had no other option. And universe works in a mysterious ways, because at that time when I'm going through those miracle steps, this woman comes into my life, and she disturbs me with some facts and information about alcoholism. She talks fearlessly about relapse. No one in those rooms talks about relapse. No one, yeah. None of the meetings I attended talked about relapse, and she is there talking about relapse fearlessly, yeah? And I'm like, oh my God. And, that's it. She points out that, the mental state that precedes relapse into drinking is the crux of the problem. Yeah, page 37. But there was always the curious mental phenomenon, the parallel with our sound reasoning. There inevitably runs some insanely trivial excuse for taking the first drink. Our sound reasoning failed to hold us in check. The insane idea won out. Next day we would ask ourselves in all earnestness and sincerity, how could it have happened, yeah? And it clicked. I don't know why, I don't know how. I thank God for her for that woman in my life who came in my life every day, because that's where things started to change for me, and while I was going through the steps, something happened. I can't tell you when it happened, and I can't really exactly tell you what happened. Something changed in me. And, the page 27 describes it perfectly. It's in the nature of huge emotional displacements and rearrangements. Ideas, emotions, and attitudes, which were once the guiding forces of the lives of these men, are suddenly cast to one side, and a completely new set of conceptions and motives begin to dominate them. And something shifted in me. Something shifted. Yeah, and it's really difficult to put it into words, because people ask me, what is spiritual experience? I don't really know. I know that when I went through those 12 steps, my sponsor told me, you now go and work with others, help others. Yeah, I was 3 months clean, and I was like, what do you mean? And she said, your life depends on it. Constant thought of others. And I said, okay. And I went and worked and helped others straight away. And miraculously, those women started to appear in my life, women, and I was constantly working with others, and I started to grow in effectiveness and understanding, and and I stopped relapsing. But I can now see I stopped relapsing, not to have my life back. I stopped relapsing simply to be there and give that chance to another lady. That's my whole purpose. And you know, we have a way out that we can absolutely agree on. And you know, the way out is here. You know, it's written, it's a textbook. It's a book that saved my life. You know, people ask me, how is your life today, Gosia? Busy, but most importantly, I live without mind-altering substances. I have a purpose. I found a reason to my existence. You know, I found God. I found real meaningful friendships. I found love. You know, I really truly believe I'm only sat here today alive because God wants me to help other ladies. As cheesy as it may sound, that's my purpose. And I also feel like I've got a responsibility to Cocaine Anonymous. You know, I've got a responsibility to carry a message. I believe it's a message of hopelessness, because we are a hopeless bunch. We really are. Because without this, we're nothing. You know, I believe I've got a responsibility of informing, you know, newcomers, yes, about the solution, but I've got a responsibility to inform them what we suffer with. Yeah, because if they don't understand what they suffer with, how can they take the solution? You know, I must. You know, and the truth is, really, that there's nothing you can do to recover by yourself. There's nothing you can do to prevent relapse. You know? The only hope is in those 12 steps in that book. That's your only hope. You know, I also believe it's our duty as recovered members of CA, you know, to go and carry that message, to tell people the truth, not dilute the truth. It's not about diluting the truth, it's about what that book says. I came to a point in my recovery that I'm not afraid of relapse. I think if I relapse, I'm going to accept it as a God's plan for me. My faith is that unshaken. Yeah, so I'm going to finish it with this. Faith has to work 24 hours a day in and through us, or we perish. So really, you know, if you're new around, please get into that book with your sponsor, go through the steps, and start helping others. Thank you.
Thanks, Gosia.